In the words of Fabrizio Romano, here we go. Yes, finally, Leicester City have announced themselves the appointment of Ruud van Nistelrooy. We've done multiple lives over the last few days talking about it, but Josh, mate, now it is finally announced. How are you feeling?
Buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing. It feels like a fresh start to the season for his Leicester fans. So yeah, hopefully, obviously begins on Tuesday against West Ham. Says here on the website that we will be in attendance for tomorrow's game against Brentford. So obviously casting an eye on the players. But yeah, Locks, mate, absolutely buzzing with it.
Same here, mate. I mean, I made this StreamYard studio earlier today, and then I didn't realize I put it public. So like, here was the first one, mate, at 10 to 5. Like, the tension's killing me. All these comments that were in here earlier, but no, finally we can now go live about this, and here we go. So, what I'm going to do, Josh, is I'm going to put the link in the chat so people can come and have their say on this appointment. But first, so there is the link. If anybody wants to click in, there it is. But first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up this the Twitter page. Here we go.
Yeah.
And see. So this was a teaser that Leicester City put up 17 minutes ago. As we can see, I wonder who that could be. Wasn't really too secret, was it? We've all known for a couple of days. And then the video they've put up, I won't lie, Josh. I'm a little bit disappointed by it. It's a bit of stock footage, like you just said. Yeah. Very much so, mate. Very much so. Is he wearing the turtleneck? Of course he is. Of course he's wearing the turtleneck. It's Ruud van Nistelrooy. There we go. I'm waiting for. Is there an? Absolutely. Oh, and we've now got a cover photo. If you can see that, mate?
Yeah.
We've now got a cover photo update as well. Is there an official statement on the website yet, mate?
Yeah, there is a quote piece on the website if you want to try and get that up.
Yeah, let me bring that up.
2 articles have been dropped.
Here we go. Got it. Right, let's switch to this one.
Just the standard stuff. Instead.
Yeah. So, Leicester City named Ruud van Nistelrooy as new first-team manager. There is a photo of him holding the shirt and scarf. We are delighted to confirm the appointment of Ruud van Nistelrooy as Leicester City's new first-team manager. The Dutchman will take charge of the team following Saturday's trip to Brentford. He has previously enjoyed managerial success with PSV Eindhoven. The 48-year-old Dutchman joins us with a wealth of experience at the highest level of the game, both as a player and as a coach, and has agreed terms on a contract until 2027. So that's a 3-year contract, or 2.5 year contract. Ruud will arrive in the UK in time to be in attendance for our Premier League trip to Brentford on Saturday before assuming full-time first-team responsibilities from Sunday. Top said, "It is my pleasure to welcome Ruud to Leicester City. He joins a club with a rich history, passionate supporters, and a talented squad. And we are all excited to see the impact he can have as we embark on this new chapter together. Ruud's experience, knowledge, and winning mentality will undoubtedly bring great value to us, and we look forward to supporting him in achieving success for our fans and our club." Van Nistelrooy, so this is a statement from Van Nistelrooy. He says, "I'm proud, I'm excited. Everybody that I speak to about Leicester City Football Club is enthusiastic. They have great stories about the quality of the people working at the club, the supporters, and of course, the recent history is impressive. I'm excited to start and to get to know everyone and give everything I can." So Leicester then go on to obviously just give us a little bit of stats there of his career, about his time at PSV. He has said Van Nistelrooy's coaching career has seen him gain valuable experience as assistant coach for the Netherlands national team under Gus Hiddink, while as a player, he has worked under the management of the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, Sir Bobby Robson, and Fabio Capello. He will take charge of the Foxes for the first time on Tuesday when West Ham United visit the King Power Stadium in the Premier League. So what that means is, obviously there was a bit of, there were rumours and discussions between people online that maybe he's not even going to be taking charge of West Ham. Well, that's dispelled that. He will be in charge against West Ham, Josh, mate. What do you make to that?
That's perfect, really. I think we would have obviously preferred him to come in for Brentford. We all said, let's get sack Cooper in the international break. But I'm glad it's done. Obviously, just like I said, you can watch the boys on Saturday, give them a bit of idea. getting to his first training session or got with the group on Sunday, I guess, and obviously preparing for West Ham at home, which is a big game. The atmosphere is going to be rocking inside the King Power on Tuesday. First game for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Get off. It's an ideal start, really. It's a good chance to get something on the board in terms of a result. Hopefully, 3 points. So could be a great night to kick off the Ruud campaign.
Great, mate. Yeah, I completely agree with you there with pretty much everything you've said. I'm just seeing if there's anything. So yeah, just another post there from Leicester City, just linking what we just did. So no talk yet on backroom staff or anything like that. Maybe that will be announced later today or over the next few days. I'm going to go through some comments, and then the people waiting in the background. Bloody hell, we've got uncle and fucking nephew in the chat waiting behind now, so we'll get them in. Let's get to the comments section. Please, guys, get all of your comments in. Let us know what you think to this announcement. Tom's, that was earlier today. Let me start with 7 o'clock. Where are we? Here we go. Welcome, Ruud, Akif says. Daz puts the Fox's head there. Has he finally signed? Yes, he has. 100% a top appointment. Dawn, a member of the channel. Thanks, Dawn, for the support. Whoop, whoop. Clibo says, a message to you, Rudy, by the Specials. Let's make song to that tune for him. Absolutely. Ray says, God bless us all. I'm a rude boy. There we go. Costa says, hey, guys. Interesting, they cropped the shirt so that the sponsor is hidden. I didn't notice that, actually. Well spotted there, Tom. Zaid. Tom says, hello all. Is it official yet? It is now, Tom. It is now. Rudy. Great news, everyone. Great news, even better as I backed him at 9-2 for the job. Brilliant stuff. Another member of the channel, hey Ruud, take our bad form and make it better. Daz says no interview yet. No video interview yet, mate. Loads of comments flying in. Do I know about Bangladesh? I mean, yeah, I've heard of it. Never been. Andrea says great news, and Tom says thank you. Costa, right there, all the comments. We are up to date. Keep getting them in. We will come back to them soon. I'm not going to get you both on at the same time because that could turn carnage, uncle and nephew. I'll start with the experienced Clibo. Clibo, mate. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
You too. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, got you loud and clear, mate.
Yeah, got my earphones in, that's all.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. My first choice of the people that we would not have been had to pay compensation for. The more I looked into it, the more I thought it's a great fit. What I wanted to put to you is that I think it was interesting that Top has really got involved at a time when fans were becoming disillusioned, I would say, and I'm kind of wondering whether he's actually either come on these forums, I don't know, or just started to hear the man in the street talking about it, and he's thought, sod this, I need to stand up. And like what was said previously on Wednesday night, and he was saying, that in their culture, it's a respect thing. And I had a chat with Reese about this, and he was saying, he's not doing what his old man was doing. And I said, maybe not, but as a respect thing, he's keeping it going for his old man. Maybe he didn't have the drive of his dad. I don't know, but I think it's a really bold statement. Particularly some of the things that we've heard him do and say to the squad, his opinions on how things have been going lately. I think he's been more vocal recently than we've heard in the last couple of seasons. So fair play. If you are watching this, Top, you've got my support. You're muted, mate.
You're muted, Locks.
I was going to say, mate, sorry. I think he's got better things to be doing with this Friday night than listening to us mugs there, Clibo, mate. But, I mean, who knows? Josh, what do you make to what Clibo said there, though, about it seems like, because we've said it all week, it seems like Top's kind of, grown a pair of balls. I'm sorry, sorry to put it bluntly. It seems like that's the case.
No, I think that's the best way to put it, really. In fairness to him, I think he's learned from his mistake with Rodgers. Obviously, we all know Brendan was here for far too long. We could have stayed up if we sacked him a bit earlier. So I think he's pulled the plug. I think it's quite obvious from Top looking in that you could probably notice that the players weren't too invested in the Cooper style, I guess. And obviously from some reports, Top wasn't too keen on Cooper in the first place. So I think any poor run of form, he probably would have pulled the plug, and he has. Potentially in the international break, he was having conversations with your Ruud van Nistelrooy, etc. And he's made it happen, and fair play to him. He's made the good decision, and hopefully he can get the rewards from it in terms of Van Nistelrooy being successful, I guess.
I think 100%. when you speak to Reece, you must. I must tell you this: that he was vehemently against Ruud van Nistelrooy, and it'll be really interesting for you to talk to him now. After I put him straight, by the way.
Mate, well, yeah, thanks for throwing him right under the bus.
Yeah, he did
so we will get
me.
that. Yeah. Well, yeah, there we go.
I love you, Reece.
Right. let's get in let's get Reece in. Cheers, Clibber, mate. Thanks for clicking in. Don't
no
go
worries.
anywhere
Take care.
because I'm gonna read some more stuff out in a sec. So keep listening, mate.
Worries.
Thank you so much. Cheers, Clibber. Right, well, Reece, I'm going to come to you in a sec. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is just bring this up. So more Foss Hub, thankfully, is right on the case, and he's already written down some of I don't know where he's got the quotes from, but
there is a quote piece on the website. I found one interesting bit. Apparently, he spoke to Maresca when the interest first came in, which is interesting. I don't know if you posted it, but there's that photo, weren't there, with Van Nistelrooy, Caballero, Maresca. So it's quite interesting.
Here we go. A lot of principles and structures that I see on the ball and off. Is this on the screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
And structures that I use a lot myself as the PSV manager and at United. Not all of them, of course, but many of them. The way Leicester City played under Enzo Maresca, winning the Championship and going into the Premier League, I can see also that line continuing in those structures and the idea of playing. I can plug into that. I relate to those structures and way of playing out from the back when we can, going forward in the attack and playing forward and creating chances is, of course, the main goal when the opponent allows you to. Obviously, you have to see how the defensive structures are. I can plug in there and take some new ideas, but a good framework is there, and then it's about getting better. Go into the training pitch and improving altogether and translating it into points. Let's further down. Ex-City manager Enzo Maresca, now at Chelsea, is a figure who Van Nistelrooy consulted during his deliberations once the interest became apparent. A glowing endorsement of the club from the Italian helped inform his decision. He explained, I have to say, when the interest came, the first one I called was Enzo. He was so positive about it. He absolutely loved his time. When you hear these things, it's a club you want to be a part of. Obviously, with the interest coming, I phoned him and I asked him more detailed questions about the club, the structure, the people that work there, the squad, the stadium, the fans, the town, the surroundings. It was a fantastic conversation. It's always a pleasure to talk to him. And he ends it off by saying, I'm looking forward to that. The preparation will be short for the West Ham game, but we'll get to know each other and get our focus on the West Ham game at home. It's a new start and something to look forward to. When the connection is made at King Power Stadium, then they'll know what can happen there. You start to play with 11 and then you go to 12. You get the extra bit there, and it's something which is vital in this period for the club. Very interesting, Josh. Some of the words used there, some of the quotes there, it makes it sound like, he's very much aware that the fans want a nicer on the eye style of football, because he mentions Enzo Ball. He mentions that we can continue under him with some of the things we did see last season. Yeah,
definitely. You can't not hate Enzo, can you? Fair play to him for obviously speaking to us in such a great way. But no, 100%. Obviously, we spoke about it last night. I think Van Nistelrooy is the type of manager who appreciates a style, but then knows when to implement it and when not to. Obviously, when Leicester play Liverpool, when we play Man City, we're not going to be going all out attack, trying to dominate the ball. But I think by the way he speaks, just like he said, I think he's aware that some of the players are used to that tactical side of the game. He's aware that they played with it last season, so it won't be too difficult to really implement it and try and build it on it. Obviously, it's not going to be the exact same as Enzo Ball, but taking some similarities from that, I think it's it's fairly apparent that we'll be able to play something kind of similar in that style. And obviously, it worked last season. This is obviously the Premier League; it's different, but I think Van Nistelrooy is the manager to try and take us forward and implement his own style, but tweak it as well.
Yeah, one word, Josh. Aura. There is the man with the Leicester in the background. Right, let's get in Clibo's nephew, Reece. Reece, mate, you've just heard your uncle throw you under the bus saying that you really didn't want Ruud. So how are you feeling?
Well, when I come on the show before, you did one with Anil about who do I want as the next manager, and I said Carlos Corberán. But obviously now it's going to be Ruud, and obviously when it come out from John Percy or whoever it was, I did do me digging and did do me research about how Ruud plays. So I thought, oh, okay, not my first choice, but let's have a look. And I have to say, I've changed my mind on it. I like the way he plays. I like how quick it is. It's like Enzo Ball, but it's a little bit quicker. Anil's video on his tactics helped me a lot as well with how he plays, and I was like, okay, I can see something there. So yeah, I'm prepared to give him a chance, 100%. But I'm still 50-50 if we stay up with Ruud. But I don't think he would have come if he wasn't promised funds in the transfer window. And also, Uncle Carl, you didn't put me in my place. I've done my own research. Thank you very much.
Oh, we've even got his first name now, Carl. We'll have that, Clibbo. We've got your name. There we go. Reese's, give it back to you. Reese, finally, mate. What do you make though to some of the things he said there in that piece there about the style of football? It seems like he's aware we weren't happy with what Cooper was putting out on the pitch.
Well, you see a lot of statements that told what to say. And that seemed like a very different statement there. And I like the way he said how Enzo spoke about the club to him. I did, like I said, I like a lot of things that he said, really. So that's given me a little bit more confidence and hope as well. So yeah, I'll back him to that. I think we've got to give him till the end of the season, though. Like just go with it throughout the whole season with him in charge, because obviously we can't afford to sack another manager, otherwise PSR will be on our backs again. But let's see how it goes.
Fingers crossed, mate. We've got a game against Brentford to get out of the way first, and then we can look forward and get excited. So
I think we'll win that. I do as well.
I do. Cheers, Reese, mate. Thanks for clicking in.
See you later, lads. Cheers.
It'll be the same format Monday night, mate. Live call-in show. Make sure you're there, mate.
I'll be there, mate. Promise.
Lovely stuff. See you then, mate. Oh, hello. That's a bit dodgy. Let me sort that out. There we go. Right. So this is the link. Again, it's one of these unofficial call-in shows, like what happened when Cooper was sacked. If you want to join, there is the link. It is pinned in the chat. So please click that link and come and have your say with me and Josh. Also, I've noticed David Chapman as well, new member of the channel, could see the sponsors there. So that goes that theory. Absolutely. He didn't mention Cooper. I wonder why. Well, he wouldn't, Zaid. He wouldn't mention Cooper. Ruud and Vardy, what a combat. I mean, Josh, mate, let's talk about it. I mean, not like Vardy needs it, but you know, Ruud is there, mate. With all the strikers, he can help improve them.
Yeah, definitely. If you're gonna bring Tom Cannon back or whoever, really, you got a perfect manager to really mold this, that striker. But also think for the defenders as well, because Van Nistelrooy used to play against the defenders. He knows what they like. He knows what they don't like. So yeah, I think obviously we all know how good Van Nistelrooy was, and that link up with Vardy, Dak. Yeah, Dak. You never know. Dak might turn into a superstar. You never know with these things. But no, obviously it's strange how it's obviously come about. Obviously 9 years ago, yesterday, since the record was obviously broken by Vard. So yeah, I think them two could work very well together, and I think there'd be a lot of mutual respect as well.
Yeah, I'd agree, mate. I'd agree. Let's get Costa in. Costa's been waiting patiently, so let's get him in. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Oh,
are you happy?
How's it going?
Are you happy,
Can you hear
Costa?
me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Are you happy?
Oh, you can hear me. Oh,
yeah.
I am, but I'm freezing today because our boiler went, and there's someone coming out to fix it.
Oh God, it's nightmare.
And it's one of them.
Well, at least this news is here to lighten you up, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy with the appointment of Ruud van Nistelrooy. I didn't know as much as I know now about him because I just ignored it, to be honest. But having watched you and Anil and the analysis and done my own research and whatnot, yeah, it's scary to say, but he sounds like a perfect fit. I hope I'm right. That's how I feel. I feel like we're already 1-0 up for tomorrow. Because it's like we've got our tails up. It's like, something big's happened. Everyone's going to be buzzing, players, whatever, background staff, which is good. Doesn't mean we're going to win, but I hope so. I think if we do, then that will set him up nicely for the next game.
I tend to agree with you, mate. Do you think that just the excitement in and around the squad will just give us a boost, a bit of a lift tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Through the analysis of how he plays, I mean, you could always worry that we'll be still leaking goals, but it's got to be better than what we were doing, that's for sure. I think he likes to pack the midfield in, which is good. But at the same time, you're playing narrow. But listen, we'll judge him when he starts. We can analyse his whole life and what pants he wears. Don't make a bloody difference. When the football starts, and at least 6 weeks into it, we'll all know whether Ruud van Nistelrooy is something special or not. I heard it's only a 2.5-year contract. Is that right?
Yeah, to start with, that doesn't surprise me though, mate. Because again, if we get relegated, you never know what might happen. You never know if you just don't know. If we went and gave him a 4-year deal, like, it's dangerous, especially after we've just paid off Cooper for 3 years as well.
You say that, but 3 years would have been nicer. I say this because
I think only it would be him who would want the longer one. I think I think Premier League clubs.
I think it's smart.
Yeah, I think, and it's probably why there's been maybe a bit of a delay, Costa, in it getting announced. Maybe they have been negotiating the contract and all of that stuff. Because again, like we know, in football, if it goes wrong and we have to sack him, we have to pay off his contract. So the smaller.
Yeah, but if you look at the other side, the positive side, if he does really well, 2 years is gone.
Well, yeah, but we could offer him a new one anytime. Who knows?
Costa, that ain't going to happen.
In 2.5 years,
because you'll want to go somewhere big, and also we don't get compensation.
Yeah, no, that's it as well, mate. That's it. We'll find out in 2.5 years. We'll look back and say, well, it was smart.
Well, do you know what? I'd rather lose him and not get the compensation, because that means we've done well.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, very true. Costa, mate, thanks for clicking in. See you Monday night, please, mate. I want you here Monday night, same time, 7 o'clock.
Hopefully nice and warm by then.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. Hope your boiler gets fixed. Stay warm, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers, pal. Right, we've got more people waiting, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You guys stay there. We will come to you shortly. Josh, going back to the chat, mate. Somebody said here, where is it? Thomas, talking about Luke Thomas. People are talking about Luke Thomas. I don't know why. Akif says that's the hope. Thomas, I see so much potential. Bloody hell. You're about one of the only people I know who do. Pele 10 says, I think we've missed a trick here. Warnock is available and he's a master at getting pro. I mean, what do you think from that, Josh, mate? What do you think to that?
I think the happy clappers would be pleased. Premier League experience.
Absolutely,
but, no thanks.
Yeah. David, I mean, this is one thing we don't know for sure yet, Josh, but he could give the younger players a bit of a chance. Who stands out to you? Which players do you want to see Ruud van Nistelrooy give a chance to from the academy?
I think the obvious ones really with Alves. Obviously, you spoke about last night. We've got people like Jeremy Mongo, who's obviously a bit more on the younger side. But yeah, I think a lot of the good ones are obviously out on loan like now, like Wandy Marcel, etc. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how he develops the youth. He did a fair bit at PSV. Obviously, brought Jared Branford through. He's obviously gone on to do well at Everton. So yeah, there's definitely potential, but I think with lots of them obviously being out on loan, it's going to be quite difficult for early game time. But the likes of Michael Gold and Will Alves, I think definitely could have a chance. And I expect them to play in the FA Cup game in a few weeks as well, which if they do well, could definitely propel them into first team. And if we get more injuries, they're probably going to have to play. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, apologies to Akif and whoever it was. They weren't talking about Thomas. Akif was talking to Thomas in the chat. He was on about Daka. Potential with the pace. So apologies there. Finally, from the chat, before we go to our next guest, where is it? I've just lost what I was going to look at. There we go. This is the first time I trust a manager with the funding he hopefully gets. So there we go. Right. Next up, let me get the blue ticket glasses on for this one. Right. We've got Craig from Dallas Fox. We are coming to Finn as well, but Craig from Dallas Fox is first. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. You look a bit busy. You at work or something?
No, I'm having lunch right now. So we're over here celebrating our day after Thanksgiving here in the States, and so we're out having lunch right now. So good news broke right when I was about to eat.
Absolutely, mate. Happy Thanksgiving for yesterday, mate. Hope it went well. Hopefully Brentford gets stuffed like the turkey tomorrow. That's what we're hoping. Craig, we've talked about this all week, I know, but how happy are you now? It's finally announced.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just finally that it is announced, right? It's over. We don't have to wait anymore. We're not wondering if something's going to go wrong. The last minute screw in there that just completely messes it up, and we end up not having a manager for a couple of weeks. So I'm just glad it's over with. I've been waiting for 48 hours for this to be announced, and I'm tired of getting up at 3 a.m. for that 9 a.m. Press conference that never happens.
Oh, Locks, you're on mute again.
Yeah, I lost Locks.
Right. Terrible. No, I was going to say, mate, what I was going to say was, what do you think we were talking about it with Costa. Do you think now this news will just give the squad a boost in general for tomorrow?
Well, it should. Even with Cooper being out and even with the manager not being replaced, it should have gotten a little bit of boost from that. But knowing that he's going to be there watching, that should be even more incentive for them to play and impress upon him. I'm a little worried about the quick turnaround, him coming in with West Ham next week, but it's what the schedule is and it's the time they pick. But I bet the players will react pretty well to this.
Absolutely. Craig, mate, thank you for clicking. There's a bit of background noise, so I'll let you go, mate. Hopefully you tune in Monday night, mate, for the live call-in show.
I'll be there. Thanks.
Lovely stuff, mate. Thank you so much, Craig. Much appreciated. There's some banter going on in the chat because Craig Thomas said, I honestly think Steve Cooper needed more time. He's twice the manager RVM will be. Before everybody starts getting at him at the chat, but I know who this guy is, and he is only joking.
Bait, surely,
it's bait. Ignore him. Delighted. Let's kick on, chaps. Manny from Vegas. Manny is in Vegas at the minute. Hope you're doing well over there, mate. Make sure to get some videos and stuff. David Chapman says it was a pun. You fire cannons at people and hopefully he will fire in the goals. Fingers crossed. Right. Up next, mate. You've been waiting patiently. Finn, how are you, mate?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm glad that we finally got a manager announced, but yeah, I'm nervous for tomorrow though. I can't lie.
I am as well, mate. I am as well. I do hope we get a win. Finn, what do you make to the comments from Ruud about the style of play? Because, you know, again, I'll say it again. I've said it multiple times already to the other people who called in, but it feels like he is going to bring a philosophy for the players and everyone really to work towards.
No, I've only just had a chance to read it, but from what I've seen, when I came in the other day and I said I wanted Corberan because he played the same way as Enzo, this sort of gives me a bit of confidence that he knows what he's got is that we've got here at the minute and implementing his own style of play and maybe tweaking a little bit of what we played like last season. I think hopefully it will keep us up, but we'll have to see. I mean, such a quick turnaround with the West Ham game, so he won't sort of get a chance to implement it straight away, but I think we can sort of look ahead and hope for the best, hopefully.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Somebody said here, where is it? Ruud van Nistelrooy will be first charge against West Ham. It's a shame, isn't it? A little bit, Finn, because we first heard that Ruud was going to be the manager on Tuesday. Well, it was announced by the Telegraph on Wednesday, but the rumours started kicking off properly on Tuesday. We kind of had the hope that he would be in charge for Brentford. I mean, are you a little bit gutted that we're not going to see him, you know, until Tuesday?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's sort of the boost that I think, especially the players, I think both you two can agree. I think the players need a bit of a confidence boost or some good news to sort of, you know, push them on. And I said the other day, I think this starts our season now. I think a couple of people in the comments laughed at me, but no, it is a shame that he won't be in the dugout tomorrow. I'm guessing he'll be there watching, but it makes the West Ham game, I think, more important. They're near us in the table. And so I think it will be a huge boost on Tuesday. But yeah, it's a bit sad that he won't be there tomorrow in the dugout.
The last thing I'll ask you about here, Finn, again, another thing from his quotes that he's in his interview, which I'm sure we'll see more of. He says that he spoke to Enzo Maresca. And Enzo Maresca bigged up the club, basically told him to go for it pretty much from the sounds of it. What do you make to that? Yeah,
I mean, you know, if I could have, I can't love that man more. Sorry. He is, especially from what he did last season. And, you know, it's a bit of a bittersweet moment that he went to Chelsea, but obviously he's a quality manager. And so for him to sort of tell Ruud to, go for the Leicester job and, you know, tell him how much of a good club we are. Maybe not often on the pitch at the minute, but I think it's nice to know that Enzo still sort of has that love for us, even though he's of course at Chelsea now. So
Yeah, 100%, mate. Finn, thanks for clicking in, mate. If
Cheers,
you're
guys.
around tomorrow for Matchday Live, maybe see you, but I think you might be working.
I am at work, yes. Sadly.
There we go. Maybe in the future, mate. Maybe soon in the future. Cheers, mate.
Yes.
Thanks for clicking
Cheers,
in.
guys.
See you very soon, Finn. Bye-bye.
See you, man.
Right. I wanted to bring this up because I've just seen it on Twitter. Let me just bring it up. Ragsy's, by the way, Ragsy. I can't wait to get Ragsy, and it's going to be fucking brilliant. Wait till you see Ragsy, Josh. First, I just saw this photo of Top, obviously from years ago, going around on the thing. I just found that funny. People bringing out the memes and all that. Right. If you're a regular around this channel, you will be aware of the free Ragsy meme. I can't find it. Anyway, you've seen it, Josh. Yeah. Turtleneck, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Well, Ragsy has been shopping, and Ragsy has delivered the goods. On the day Ruud van Nistelrooy is announced as Leicester manager, Ragsy has been freed. Oh my God, he's wearing the turtleneck, for God's sake. Ragsy, mate, what's going on, mate? Are you happy?
Meme all you want, boys. Meme all you want. That's all good. That's all good with me. I'm buzzing. Just a little bit of a shame that it wasn't announced that he could be in the dugout for Brentford, but maybe just with contract terms, I think that's probably what it would have come down to, and just making sure that was all right. Because I get it to an extent being a bit stingy if you want to sort of like preserve for a budget if it did come to the January window and we did need to spend. So like, but yeah, like I think with you boys, like I said, out of like the 4 candidates that were sort of like open and available to us, even with Moyes, Potter, Corberan, Ruud was my first choice. It's still not going to be easy. There's still going to be an adaptation period, and like it's not always ideal sort of him coming midway into the season, but the season officially starts today, and I can't wait for it now. I'm buzzing heading into Brentford. I won't be able to watch it. I'm gutted about it. I'll be away, but I'll try and like keep in tune with it and just sort of like see how it's going. But like, yeah, I'll be praying. So, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to it.
Ragsy, you've let me down with one thing, mate. Where's the necklace? Like that,
how about you? You edited that in.
No. I did not edit the necklace in. The necklace was there on the original rock photo. Thank you. So don't accuse me of editing photos apart from your head. The head's edited, obviously. Mate, next time you need to bring the necklace, mate. You need to go and find yourself a chain necklace.
Yeah, 100%. I'll find something off Temu and see how that rolls out.
Ragsy, tell me what you think to Ruud basically saying that Enzo bigged up the job, basically. Bigged up the job. He bigged up the club and said, yeah, you should take it.
Honestly, not too much of a surprise after, like, I knew they were former teammates and, like, they had a close relationship. So I was like, okay. Because when United and Chelsea played each other, I was like, maybe there could be something in there. Maybe that's why, essentially, I think maybe looking back now, I think we possibly made our decision after the United game. But then we're just sort of waiting to see if Ruud was available and seeing what was happening with that situation. Maybe if there was some pointers as to being like he could leave that role. And if so, we'd sort of see him as an option. And I think it was kind of sort of heading to that way. So now there's a little bit of an explanation as to why we waited until after the Chelsea game to then go and sack him as well. So that could have been a contributing factor. But yeah, the fact that he's been in touch with him just about the club surroundings, around the team, about the structure of the club, and like, you know, that's some good inspiration there, because like he was effective. Okay, he was like, people can question the football at times, but I think that's when it comes to Enzo, I think that's a bit of a lazy argument, because we were in the Championship and you're coming up against teams that were essentially parking the bus against us, so you never really got to see Enzo in full flow until you faced the bigger teams. And when we did play the bigger teams, we did well. So, it's like with Ruud sort of taking inspiration is he's already saying about his versatility, being like, we will set up defensively and hit on the break, like if needs be, just for the sake of getting results. So it'll be interesting to see as to like how he plans to sort of take it out. So yeah, like any sort of like tips and inspiration and stuff when it comes to like handling the squad, then yeah, I think Enzo did it perfectly. He had a brilliant player-manager relationship. So, like, any tips he can take off him, I think is really good for us.
Ragsy, mate, if you've got more time, I'm going to drop you out, but stay, because I'll add you back in a bit. But
Okay.
somebody's been waiting so long, so I want to get him in quickly, mate. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back. We'll be back. Cheers, Ragsy, mate. Right, Rich is here. Before I add him, I want to just ask you this, Josh. Are you getting a turtleneck, Josh? Because it looks like everyone is investing in turtlenecks.
Turtleneck and a chain, maybe. I think that's the way to go, isn't it?
You strike me as a guy, mate, who's already got a turtleneck somewhere in your wardrobe.
Really? No, I don't. I might have to invest. Christmas present. I might have to wait a little bit.
If you had half a brain cell, someone in Leicester would have opened up a turtleneck shop with this week. They would have made a fortune, mate. Right, let's get him Rich. Hello, Rich, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right, boys. How we doing?
All good, mate. All good. How are you feeling after this news, mate?
I'm brilliant. But just quickly, there's not a chance Josh does not have a turtleneck. Just saying, mate.
I agree. Yeah,
no, mate, honestly, over the moon. I think it needed to happen. And yeah, I'm buzzing with it. I think that, people I'm fed up with this argument about it not being proven. Like it blows my mind. But yeah, no, I'm buzzing with him, mate. I think he's going to be a great option. I think he's going to inspire the players. I think he's going to bring a bit of discipline and hopefully just bring a bit of structure. And obviously with Top, getting involved a lot more, I think that's just only going to add to it. So yeah, for me, positives all around. Can't wait.
100%, mate. I just saw something here which said a comment from No Tint. He said no new manager bounce from the fans. Hopefully new manager bounce from the fans. Yeah. Hopefully the players as well. I want to focus on the fans part because, Rich, if I'm not mistaken, you were very much in the side of give Cooper the chance, give him as much as okay.
Yeah, so to get, I was giving you some stick, mate, and I still stick by it because I think that the negativity it doesn't help. Like I get it, and by the way, and this is why we were talking about trying to get me on earlier on, but then you went on holiday and there was loads of stuff going on, so it just never happened. I have no problem, and I absolutely agreed with 90% of what people were saying that was anti-Cooper. My argument was, let's give him 10 games, let's see where we're at, let's see, what the situation is, and then make our decisions. Now, that was all I was saying. I wasn't necessarily Cooper in, so to speak. I just wasn't Cooper out. And because I'm very much the thing of, and the way I sort of look at it, mate, is imagine, so I work in sales, right? Now, I've got a manager and then obviously a team. If for whatever reason, let's say I was doing crap, I just wasn't making any sales, and all the rest of the people in the office were coming to me and saying, God, your manager's crap, isn't he? Your manager's crap. No one's putting any onus on me. I'm going to jump on that and go, yeah, you're right. My manager is crap. And it's never going to help my performance. I'm going to go, well, I've got an excuse there. So I kind of feel like the negativity just wasn't going to help the club. And I know, by the way, you weren't doing it for that reason. You are very pro the club, but I just was like, it's not going to help. However, the performances were getting worse, not better. I think our position flattered us because of the performances. It was only because other people were doing worse. So for me, that's when I started to go, right, no, he's had enough time now to at least implement his style. And so for me, it's time for him to go. And that was also why I didn't want Moyes, by the way, because we'd have been in the exact same position. The players did not want to play that style. So we'd have been in the exact same position where the players wouldn't have played for him. So for me, it's the right appointment, and let's all get behind him.
Rich, are you in agreement, though, that from what you've seen, from what I've seen, I'm pretty sure from what Josh has seen, the large majority of Leicester fans are all up for this appointment, which will give him more of a head start than Steve Cooper ever had?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I've seen so few negative things about this at all. Like it's all been, everyone's buzzing, everyone's buying turtlenecks. So, you know what I mean? Everyone's doing the accent, and you know what I mean? Like no one was happy about Cooper, and I get it. Even the people that weren't anti it, they weren't happy. They went, "Oh my God, what an appointment!" They were like, "All right, well, I was the same. I was like, all right, fair enough. He's our new manager. Let's give him time." So yeah, everyone seems to be behind it, and that's, like you say, it's going to give him such a head start based on just based on the previous thing. I think we're more buzzing about him than we were Enzo. I'm seeing more positivity around Ruud than I was about Enzo, because Enzo was so unproven, and I feel like there was still an element of he's Pep's number 2, but can he really do it? Obviously that changed very quickly, but initially I think there's actually more buzz around this appointment than there was Enzo.
Yeah. Absolutely, Rich, mate. Thank you so much for clicking in, pal. Rich, Monday night, if you're about 7 p.m, would love to get your thoughts on the live call-in show, mate.
I'll be schooling motherfuckers on the pitch, mate, unfortunately. So
maybe another time.
That's what I'm doing now, mate. I thought I'd try and join you just before we get started. But all right, mate. Hey, thanks so much.
Nah, mate, anytime. Cheers, Rich. Right, I need to quickly grab my charger set, Josh, but just quickly, I'm going to get in... Andreas is waiting as well, but I'm going to get Ragsy back in a set. And Ragsy and Josh, talk between yourselves just for a minute or so about... where is it? I've lost the comment. I'm coming to it. Here we go. Conscious says we aren't going back to inverted fullback. Ricky P is out for months, so we should give up on back to Enzo ball. The options are Hamza, that's terrifying, or Skip. I can't see RVN liking either. From what you've both seen, I'll come to you first, Ragsy. From what you've both seen of the tactics that he implements and all of that, what do you think will happen to the fullbacks? Any inversing going on, or just maybe one high, one low? What do you think?
I doubt it's going to be an inversion, and I think the only real fullback to idealistically do that would be Ricardo, but at the minute he's out injured, so having that sort of technical role there. But from what I've seen from Ruud, I think I don't think he'd gear towards that anyway. I think he'd want pro-attacking fullbacks to really sort of create the overloads out wide. So kind of like with Steve Cooper's thinking, but maybe he's a bit more competent to actually pull it off. So I think this is good news for Christensen and Justin, to be honest with you. So I think he'll integrate them back into the squad. I think it would suit Christensen a bit more just to be a bit more advanced on the left-hand side. I think with Justin as well, you could even slot him into that back three, or you could even slot Christensen into the back three and have Justin a bit more advanced as well. And it'll create that sort of double pivot with 2 holding midfielders anyway. So he had Sangare and Veerman, and they were essentially with Sangare, the one breaking at play, and Veerman ultimately doing what Winks is doing in terms of dictating how the play is going to go. So I think it's and I think he's got the personnel to do it. It seems like, I was saying it from the off, it'll be a seamless transition from Enzo, but it's not going to be towards Enzo's style. It's not going to be as structured. I think with Ruud, he would allow any sort of versatility. I think he'd be more open to sort of counter attacks and seeing ideas from the Brentford set piece coach as well, just to be look, just bring it all on board. Let's any sort of attacking threats and ideas that we can do. Let's just bring it all in and let's just do it and incorporate it into one. I think the key will be in terms of his defensive setups. Now, I think he could revert to a 3 at the back, and it's whether we'd have the personnel good enough to. I think at the minute it may be wise, especially with tougher games coming up as well. So I think it would and it's sorting out that balance as well. And then it's for fullbacks, how advanced do you want to play them? Because you don't want to sort of sit in and be a 5 at the back and then not have enough support when it comes to attackers when we do want to go and play the way we want to play. So it's re-establishing a balance, and I just think, sorry to sort of take over from Josh as well. I'll let you come.
Well, Rags, I was just going to ask, because Josh does need to jump off in a second. So, Josh, again, you answered the question now, mate. What do you think he will do from the bits of tactics talk, if you want to call it that, that you've looked at recently?
Yeah, I think Ragsy's pretty much spot on. I think it's going to be similar to Enzo in terms of that box midfielder shape. He likes to, he likes the midfielders, the position in there, to be quite full. So I think there'll be elements of that. I'd be very surprised if we invert, just like Locke said, just like the comments said, we've barely got anyone to play that role without Ricardo, unless he fancies Skip. But I think it's going to be the case of the Cooper way. One fullback's going to go high. Whether that's Christensen or Justin, we'll have to wait and see. And that obviously provides flexibility. Me and Locke speaking about it last night. You could potentially have Buonanotte and El Canous in the same team based on his PSV tactics. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be the exact same as that, because obviously PSV were a competing team in their league towards the top, and obviously Leicester aren't. So he's going to have to adapt. But I think it's important to be flexible as well. When we were performing well under Brendan, it wasn't the same every week. It was mainly a 4-3-3, but then when we played the big teams away, we opted for a 5-back, and sometimes it works. If you cast your minds back, we beat Man City away in that 5-2 win, stuff like that. So I think Ruud's a type of manager to be quite flexible in terms of how he plays, and I think if he can be in kind of adapt situations and don't play the whole possession style every single minute of everything, every game, I think we are going to get results, because I think our team is capable to do so. When under someone like Ruud van Nistelrooy, I don't see why Leicester don't stay up in terms of the way he plays.
Awesome. Josh, mate, Sportser, cheers, pal.
Yeah.
Everybody go and check out Sportser YouTube. He'll have some reaction as well, I'm sure, coming out. We did a live as well last night. So cheers, Josh. Ragsy, mate, I'm going to let you go now as well, Ragsy. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Foss Hub, Talk Leicester City. We'll see Ragsy on Monday night, Fox's Den, all of that good stuff. Now, look at the names down there. Look how easy this is. Bam! We're joined by LCFC Doc. He's taken over. And before Andreas, we are also joined by a Nottingham Forest fan. The one who warned us of Steve Cooper's war crimes, and they came true. Wolfie, what do you make to Ruud van Nistelrooy taking over as Leicester manager? Are you worried at all, mate? We might join you up there.
No. I find it funny though. You guys are has Pep just joined you or something? Like you lot are talking. Did Cooper really destroy you lot that much in 12 weeks or whatever it was, man? He broke you down that much that Van Nistelrooy looks like an upgrade. I mean, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
It's
I
a big
think
upgrade.
Well, yeah, you'd be a big upgrade, mate, but that's not the...
A nil would be. Yeah, we're getting nil, bloody.
I wouldn't go that far, mate. I wouldn't go that far.
Now, what do you make to it, though, mate?
I think he's okay. If I was a Leicester fan looking, well, I'd be very happy as a Leicester fan. I see why you guys are happy. If he was coming to Forest, I wouldn't be that excited by him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I just think he's unproven. My advice to you lot is just see a few weeks, see what he's like, and then make your decisions. Instead of making him the Messiah now, just wait. Be my advice. I haven't seen enough evidence for him to show me yet that he's an elite manager or a good manager or a shit manager. So I think you lot need to calm down. And I get it. You're happy. You got rid of who I warned you about.
Yeah.
So I get that. But there's still work to be done on the pitch for you lot.
I hear you. Andreas, mate, obviously we're all excited. We've discussed it already. What do you make to what Wolfie's just said there? Are we just overreacting a little bit? Or are we, within our right to just get a bit excited that we've replaced a PE teacher with, an actual decent coach?
I think it's fine, obviously, to be happy, right? I do agree, obviously, it's not Pep Guardiola, right? We haven't gotten some...
Your mic's a bit off, by the way. I don't know if you're plugged in, mate. You're not plugged in. Carry on, though. You're all right for now. Carry on.
Is it all right?
For now.
For now, okay. Yeah, it's my webcam microphone. I see something's wrong with my normal microphone. I'll leave and get that fixed. Wait, actually, I think I could do this.
If I
there we go.
All right. Yeah, that's the headphone from this. But yeah, I think we're in our right minds to be happy, at least to a certain degree, right? Because it's a certain step up. As well, we should know someone who's had Steve Cooper as a manager. We were at rock bottom. We were like at the floor. So even though we might not have taken 10 steps up, taking 3 or 4 steps up is massive in our survival bit. And for me as well, I think it's someone he's a manager who's just come off a very good short spell with Manchester United. Obviously beat us twice. We were also woeful in both games, but a good game against Chelsea in particular. He's someone who, to me, it very seems like he's a bit on his way up in the manager game, who wants to also prove himself and is very hungry to do a good job here. Quite clearly, he's willing to take on this challenge a bit. That was the one thing that I really liked about Cooper as well, right? He was willing to take on the challenge, and I think Ruud van Nistelrooy has that same energy, but in a more dominant way, and also of the fact, that I think he'll play better football. I've did research a bit about him, right? His PSV game in particular against Ajax, where he managed to shut them out for 90 minutes without a single shot on target. Like, he's able to also set up well defensively and have some stats to back that up, which is one of the things we really liked about Coop, because I'm fine with us not generating 10, 20 shots a game. But if we are also conceding 20 shots while also getting 20 shots while only getting 2 a game, there is some mismatch there, right? If we can completely shut them out, I'm fine with only generating 5 or something shots, but it cannot be allowing so many shots while also, gaining so few.
Wolfie, I've seen loads of your fans. Well, not your fans, Forest fans, who are all Cooper lovers. They've all been saying, I don't know if you saw the one from, is it the Forest Review, I want to say, and he was like, mark my words, bookmark this, whatever you want. Leicester City are now definitely going down under Ruud van Nistelrooy. They've downgraded. But he made one point, Wolfie, that I wanted your opinion on. He did say he thinks Ruud is the wrong man for a relegation scrap. What do you think to that?
Well, I think the opposite for a start. I think you've increased your survival prospects a lot because you would have finished bottom of the league under Cooper. He was going in that direction. Your wins, you guys will admit to him, were quite lucky in the Bournemouth and the Southampton one. That's the Cooper way. So I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know the person, but I would completely disagree. I would also disagree with that as well in terms of the relegation fight, because I think at the moment there's probably, if you look at it realistically, Southampton are in big trouble. If Ipswich lose to us tomorrow, they're in big trouble. And then I think Crystal Palace and Wolves will come out of it. So I think it's almost one place to play for. And the question is, who you going heads up with? Because I can see Wolves, as long as Cunha stays fit, they'll pull away quite quickly from that bottom. But yeah, there still is the element of a relegation battle. But you've strengthened your chances. And at least Cooper didn't leave you in the bottom 3 is probably the only thanks you guys could really give him for what he's done to you so far. But I don't think Van Nistelrooy, being him or being someone else, would have really changed the fate too much in terms of where you're going to end up. I think if you guys finish 15th, you've done all right. You've done all right.
Yeah.
But whatever manager came in, they weren't suddenly going to take you from bottom to top. That's the point here. But the manager you had was going to take you towards the bottom.
There we go. Wise words as always, Wolfie, mate. Thanks for clicking in at late notice. I sent you the link quickly. I
didn't even know what you wanted from us. You had a question or something.
Yeah, no. Well, I normally do have a question for you about something, mate. But it was this time as well. What do you think what do you think to Van Nistelrooy? So, but you're not worried about Leicester becoming the dominant team in the Midlands again anytime soon, then, mate.
Not yet, mate. Not yet. But I think you'll be okay. My gut feeling says you'll be okay. I think you could be safe quite early on now. And by the time I think we play you in May, by the time that happens, I mean, might as well give us the 3 points so we get into Europe.
Wolfie, make sure to send me your address on WhatsApp, mate, so I can order you one of these. All right, mate. I'll get you one of these in the post.
Oh
so
my
you can...
God, man thinks he's all that now. He's got like 6 million subscribers now. He's whipping out the merch store.
No, it's not merch. Look, it's a roll neck. Yeah, man.
That's the roll neck. I thought that was Ragsy's thing, man.
Hashtag free rag. Ragsy is free at last. Right, Wolfie, mate. See you soon, pal. Cheers for clicking in, mate. I hope you lose on the weekend. Sam, mate. See you in a bit. Bye. Right. Andreas, mate. Let's have a look. So David Chapman, member of the channel, he says Everton down, mark my words. Daniel says if Southampton and Ipswich are going down, who is the third team to go down? With him saying Wolves and Palace will improve. I mean, who? By the way, Daz, I can see you back there. You'll come on soon, mate. Who do you think is going to go down now? Do you think Leicester are going to be okay now, mate? I mean, I know there's no guarantees, but you think we'll be all right? Who's going to go down?
I think we're still in the battle, right? That's what we have expected coming into the season. I think that's going to be the outcome regardless. To me, it felt like we were only above the relegation point, as Wolfie also mentioned a bit, right? Due to luck and a few clutch factors coming up with our players really showing up. I think with the teams we'll be battling with, I think while both Ipswich and Southampton have been surprisingly good in terms of their level, they haven't been able to really get the points on the board yet. I mean, Ipswich are slowly but surely getting there with wins over the Tottenham and a point against United. But yeah, both Wolves and Palace are improving. And what's important to me is we keep up with them now, because I'm looking at either one of them, like it's Wolves, Palace, or Everton. One of these three, in my opinion, while they're able to get these points now, and in particular, Wolves and Palace have strengthened and started to get the results. We need to follow that pack, because one of those 4 teams will be the unlucky team to go down, in my opinion. One of the teams will have looked quite decent at points throughout the season and seem like a team that, can beat maybe one of the top 6 every now and then, or at the very least get points. But, sometimes you'll be unlucky and you'll just have to go down because the competition is fierce. So for me, the more important thing is that we stick with this field of these 4 contenders and then never just fall too far behind, so that we, there comes this 8-7 point gap or something over the relegation line. So yeah, I think we have to stick with those and then just hope that Crystal Palace or Wolves drop up. Maybe Evereshi SA goes in the winter for Crystal Palace. That would be a big blow. Maybe Matheus Cunha, because that guy is a baller. Either gets that massive injury, it has happened before, or he gets sold. They have prospects as well that they might need to sell because of PSR, and that could change a lot of things.
Absolutely. Clibo says, Doc, love your footy chat. Very well put. Hey, come on. Obviously, man. Only the best on blue tinted glasses. Come on. LCC Forever says, Wolves look good from what I've seen. I know in the league they aren't in a great spot, but they'll be fine. Probably have some great players too. All of a sudden, loads of people have clicked in again. So we're going to have to start getting through people again. Let's do it. LCFC Daz has been waiting the longest, mate. You've not got your Mrs. Roll neck on tonight. Very disappointing.
No, sorry, mate. Yeah, I I thought I'd have a change, but hey, look, he's in, so that's all that matters, really, ain't it? He's in.
Happy?
Oh, mate, I'm over the moon. I agree with Wolfie. We would have been down and out if Cooper had stayed, and Potter didn't want to be here. By all accounts, for whatever reason, he doesn't seem like he wanted to be. He didn't believe in the project. Top's obviously grabbed the ball by the scruff of the neck, it seems, and just gone straight in, got the man he wants. And I'm happy. I've never been as happy as this about, I think it was Enzo Maresca that got me this happy last time. So, yeah,
well, we've been talking a lot. I mean, as you have probably on your channel and other channels about Van Nistelrooy. It's not a surprise. This hasn't come out of nowhere. We've known for a few days. How much of a boost do you think that it will give the players tomorrow? Not talking about West Ham, Brentford, even with just knowing he's coming in. Do you think it will give them a bit of a boost?
I'm expecting a massive boost for many reasons. Obviously, with Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in, I'm expecting them to sort themselves out, maybe obviously put themselves on the shelf, so to speak. So, make me undroppable. This is what I can do, so on and so forth. So I'm expecting a display, but I'm also expecting a little bit of freedom because obviously they've not got the reins of Cooper anymore. But also I think another thing that's really important is Top giving him a bollocking and essentially saying, look, it's on you now. I'm expecting that to get a rise out of the players just as much, if not more, because, Top and the team are very tight knit, when they do the memorial thing about Vichai every year and everything else like that. It's a very close-knit squad. So I'm expecting it's almost like your dad's had a pop at you. Do you know what I mean? Like, or a family loved one's had a pop at you to sort yourself out. So yeah, I'm expecting a good bounce. And to be honest with you, mate, I think we'll win. I'm just going to say it. I think we'll win.
Well, I do, mate. And we did a preview show on, was it yes? I can't remember. The days are all muddled up since Cooper sacking yesterday. And score predictions. It's the first time on this channel this season that every single score there were no losses. It was either a draw or a win every time. So the fans have 100%. The mentality in the fans has completely changed as well. I mean, we're talking. We're not even thinking about relegation anymore. We're talking. How long till Europe, boys? How long till...
Well, this is it. No, but this is it, though. Seriously, but that's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream. When you had Cooper, I dread looking at the team news an hour before the game. Now I'm checking my phone, waiting to see if he's done an interview for the club because I'm interested. I'm hooked, so to speak. So, yeah, I was in the chat on your stream yesterday, and I said 2-1, and like you say, everyone was pretty much 3-1, 1-0, or a draw at least. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting good things. If we lose, we lose. I think it's one of those things. Brentford are a very strong force at home. Let's have it right. They've scored how many goals in the first half at the start of the season? It is mental. So, yeah. But I'm expecting the lads to put a good performance on either way. So, I'm dead chuffed, mate. How are you boys feeling?
Mate, we're buzzing. Of course we're buzzing. Andreas, you buzzing, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I mean, obviously the Ruud news has been there for a while, right? But game tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what the starting 11 will be. And as been said, right, they're putting themselves in the shop window here to look good for Ruud and Nistelrooy. All of the people who've been done wrong by Cooper felt like they needed more game time. If they get on the pitch, someone like Mavididi, for example, who's been in and out of the team, and I mean, his performances has also been a bit up and down, but he's shown himself. I think someone like him will be hungry to prove himself. I will say Brentford is a tough place to go. The GT Community Center, by no means an easy game in my opinion, but I think certainly the boys will have something to prove here. And while the tactics might not be on point, I expect to see them leave everything on the pitch, and that's what I'm excited for. Because while in a few games it felt like we've seen that, especially in the relegation battles between both Southampton and Ipswich, other games it felt like as soon as things gone wrong, for example against Chelsea, right, about Fast laughing at his own mistake, like these things, I don't think they will happen. I want to see blood, sweat, and tears on the pitch tomorrow, and that's what I'm really excited for. I want to see them give everything.
Absolutely. Daz, mate, thanks for clicking in. Hopefully Monday night as well you click in, mate,
Yes,
for
mate.
the call-in show, the official call-in show. This is the unofficial call-in show. Cheers, Daz, mate. Thanks
See you
so
later, guys.
much. LCFC_Daz. Go and subscribe to Daz on YouTube. Please do.
See you later, guys.
That'd be great. Cheers, Daz. I forgot to say as well, you spoke, I think Daz mentioned the lineup tomorrow. Excited to see the lineup. We were meant to be doing a predict the lineup show right now, but obviously we had to put that on pause. Obviously, right. Up next is Chris from LTID TV. Everyone knows Chris. Chris, mate.
Hello there.
How are you feeling with the news finally here? The announcement at last.
Honestly, it's like watching your son be born. You're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and they come and say, "Well, it might not happen tonight. It could be tomorrow." I mean, only Leicester could do it this way, couldn't they? And only Leicester could wait until I'm in the middle of doing my preview show to make the bloody announcement. I've never done a preview show as quick in my life. But look, great news, isn't it? Great news.
Chris, as far as I'm aware, you weren't the biggest fan of Enzo Maresca. Is that right to say?
No, he wasn't. I don't think it was anybody's choice when he got the job, because I don't think anybody would have sort of ever imagined that he would get it. I was critical of his style because I thought he was a bit inflexible. But look, he did what he wanted us to, what he was told to come in and do, which was get us promoted. And as long as Ruud gets us to 17th, even if it's by +1 goal difference, and it goes in off Edouard's arse in the 95th minute of the last game, he'll have done what we want of him, and that's all that we can ask for.
Well, you weren't the biggest fan. What do you make to the news today, well, in the last hour, that Ruud spoke with Enzo, and Enzo kind of bigged up the club? Because a lot of criticism that Enzo's got recently is that he shit on us. And you know, this is quite the opposite of what we've just heard. He's basically bigged the club up and put it out there for Ruud. Yeah.
Look, I think when he left, then yes, I was critical of him, because I think every single fan was, because, you know, he left very, very quickly. But look, when you take off your blue tinted glasses and you look at it in the hard light of day, days later, it's nothing different to what we would all do. You know, if we're offered a better job, and let's be honest with you, you know, he could have stuck at Leicester, got relegated this season, and a job like that may never come his way again. So you've got to go for it. He spoke very highly of Top and the club before the game when we played them the other week. And look, he could have really shit on us to Ruud and going like, you know, God, don't trust a word they say. They don't tell you about anything, that, you know, and all this. And he hasn't. And so fair play to him. Fair play to him. Look, yeah, like I said, but we all hated him when he left, didn't we?
I mean, we were a bit angry, right? Yeah, I was certainly felt a bit betrayed. I thought he would keep us up, but I mean, I do agree with you in a sense. At the moment, obviously, the sadness of him leaving and the anger of him just leaving after 1 year on a 3-year contract. I mean, I get it, but yeah, as you say, take off the blue tinted glasses, leaving to a top 4 club in Chelsea. I think it's understandable at the end of the day. Had it been someone like Brighton or Bournemouth, someone who I think we should be able to compete with, I would have been more pissed. But like, it's such a big club that you have to accept it, right?
Yeah, you do. And look, when you lose a manager, you hope that whoever you're going to appoint is going to do better. Look at West Ham. You know, they got rid of Moyes, and yes, probably he had to go, but did they replace him with somebody who was better? Let's be honest with you, it would have been really hard not for us to have done that, because I don't think we could have replaced Cooper with anybody that would have been worse.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair enough to say, mate. Finally, on Brentford, he's not going to be in charge for Brentford. There's been rumours, even like literally half an hour ago, someone messaged me. There's rumours that he has taken a training session. The club are making it look like he hasn't, because they're saying stuff like he'll travel from Eindhoven to watch the game and all of this. So he might not have any input on the team, on how we play and all of that. But again, I'll ask you what I've asked everybody, Chris. Do you think the players will have a bit of, I don't know, a spring in their step and try to impress the new man?
Of course. I mean, if he is... I mean, I thought he was on a plane that landed at East Midlands Airport, but that could have been anybody, couldn't it?
That was Moyes. That was Moyes.
I know. He could have been Lord Lucan for all we know. At any airport. Of course they are. I wouldn't be surprised. Remember when Brendan was announced? He was it Brighton, I think, and he was actually at the game, and I think he went down pre-game and at half-time. So you might see, Ruud do that, and if he's in can you imagine the buzz that would give not only give it to the fans, and then it would relate onto the pitch. Everybody's going to go out. I think it might have been Duck that said, going to go out to impress him and say, look, I'm worthy. Because for me, and I've criticised a few of the players this season, but everybody starts with a clean sheet now. New manager comes in. Whoever I've criticised, that was under Cooper and the way that he was having them play. Look at Vestergaard. Enzo came in and turned him into primetime Messi. So, everybody's going to start with a clean sheet. And, if they can't go out and play well, we might not win. But as long as they play well to impress the news boss, then they shouldn't be at the club.
Chris, mate, you want one of these for Christmas, mate? Nice little roll neck there with the logo on it. What do you reckon, mate?
If you're giving them away free, mate, I haven't washed my car for a while. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
There we go. Chris, mate, thanks for clicking in. Much appreciated. Go, everybody. Obviously, if you haven't already, I'm sure you have. Subscribe to LTID TV.
Best, guys.
We'll see you very soon, Chris. Right. We're going to have our last guest on in just a sec. No more clicks. Nobody else click in. We've got loads of time for that Monday night as well. Before we bring in our last guest, someone said here, remember when Mavididi whacked in an L drag versus Coventry at 20 mile per hour right in front? Yeah, I mean, Doc, what do you make to this? Because there was a lot of talk last season that Enzo didn't like it when we did things outside of the plan, if that makes sense. Because I remember when we beat Southampton, was it 5-0? And he came out and said that was the word, like that wasn't even one of the best performances of the season. Because we seem to play slightly different and more free flowing. Do you think Ruud will be quite similar in terms of how I don't know how regimented things are, or do you think he will be a bit more of a freedom manager, if you like?
The thing is, I think he's more. While I will say some of the fact that Enzo is not able to change his tactics or whatever, I do disagree with that. But I think he is more rigid than what Ruud Nistelrooy has very least expressed, especially in the interview with the club. Right? He mentions the fact that, I mean, we want to play with the ball, but we also realize at some points we just have to sit deep and deny and then play for the counter. So I think he'll be more able to readily just read the game and say, okay, this is how it's going. This is what's happening. We're having a horrible day at the office right now. Let's just try and sit back for 10, 20 minutes and play on the counter, play for Vardy's pace or Mavididi, and look for something like that up the field when we get the chance. Or if we're in a good mood, maybe we'll try and play with more possession or whatever. So he seems a bit pragmatic and adaptable, which I really like, but also pretty set in his ways that preferably I want us to do this, but I'm not against changing it if needed in the game. So yeah, that's what really excites me. And hopefully he's just able to successfully secure our defense, which is to me the most important option target right now.
I agree with you completely, mate. Right, here is Imran, the last caller of the night, mate. How are you feeling? I've asked you that 3 times this week, I think, but we finally got the announcement, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, it's good that he's been finally appointed. I was getting a little bit nervous last couple of days, thinking, what's happening? We know he's coming. Romano and Locks Romano have announced it, and nothing's being announced. And then finally, on a Friday evening, we get an announcement. So fantastic. I still think he's got a big job on his hands, but he's gonna freshen the place up. So that's what we needed, right? Freshening the place up, and that gives us a bit of a chance to stay in this elusive league, the Premier League, the leagues of all leagues.
Well, you've been very vocal all season long, Imran, that you don't think this squad is Premier League quality. So if that is still the case, what area of the pitch does Ruud need to target and Leicester need to target in January?
Well, I think we need 3 defenders for a start. Like
3.
Pereira's injured. Yeah, 3. I think Fass. In fact, I like Fass. I know he makes the odd mistake here and there. No, Locks, hear me out here, right? Fass does make a mistake, right? But his overall game, otherwise, is okay. He'll win the ball, slide tackles, but he just makes those stupid errors. Like that Forest error, and then the error against Chelsea at the weekend. But otherwise, he's actually okay. But it's just that the silly errors. Vestergaard, errors all the time, in my view. He's not got enough pace for the Premier League. Okoli's got a little bit about him. I like him. Justin, again, is Cooper had played him out of position, making him play like a right winger. So if he drops back, I think he's our only good defender. And I think we need a left back as well, mate, in January. We need a left back urgently. So I think we need at least 2 defensive signings. And we need a striker as well. If Daka can't handle it for the next 4 weeks, he's going to be given a chance, I guess. Now he's back. But if he can't handle it, we need to get in a striker as well.
What do you make to what Imran said there, Andreas?
I mean, I think it's with the performances we've had this season, I think it's a fair point to make. But I'm very much of the belief that we have a good enough squad to stay in the Premier League. Obviously, I would like enforcements. I would like reinforcements, more depth, certain places, and maybe a new players here and there in the starting 11. But my main takeaway here is I think we have a squad with players who I believe, but I also believe that they think themselves they are Premier League quality players, right? Vestergaard has been in the Premier League multiple years with Southampton. We've had Wout Faes coming in from a good season in League One before he joined us over in France. We've had players here with certain Premier League quality. Some of them a bit more unproven than others, but they need to also step up now and show that they have this Premier League quality in them still, right? These are Premier League players by their own words, so they need to step up now and show that. I think we've seen some performances that has shown glimpses of what we could expect. I think our defense has been in such symbolic shape at the moment that I understand the point that we're normally seeing that we need more defenders. Although, with the level they have, I would disagree and say it's not the place we need to target most. I think Ruud should be able to tighten them up, and then I'd rather prioritize the money on, let's say, a new right wing. Not because Fatah was not fantastic, but he's injured for the whole season potentially, right? I think we need more depth there, for example, or as if Patson doesn't cut it under Ruud Nistelrooy, more help out for Jamie Vardy because he's the only striker doing something there, and that's where I'd rather spend the money because I do believe that this is either just Steve Cooper's tactics being symbolic or Vestergaard falling out with him, and like whatever was going on there, like the defense was horrendous and there is no hiding that, but I do believe that their floor should be higher, and I hope and I believe that under Ruud Nistelrooy they will play to a Premier League quality defense, and then I would like to spend our money elsewhere.
And we need leaders. We need leaders in that team. We haven't got any leaders. Yeah, we've not got anybody like that leads that team. Like I can't see anybody throttling someone at halftime. They're all very nice to each other, aren't they? We just need
allegedly one of them told Top that Cooper's tactics were a fucking disgrace.
Yeah, maybe, but he's not. Jamie Vardy is not a leader. Like we need somebody in the midfield or in the defense telling people what to do when they've made a mistake. Give them a bit of a rollicking or give them a bit of confidence. I don't see that in our team. We don't have that figure in the team that's leading on the pitch. Unfortunately, like a Schmeichel or a Morgan. We had many of those leaders in yesteryear, but I don't see it in this squad at the moment.
I think that's a fair point, right? Vardy is very isolated on top, and he isn't the traditional leader. He's more someone who'll show the passion, who'll show the desire, but not the one to sit and guide. I think maybe that's one of the reasons I'm maybe hoping Connor Cody gets a few more minutes. It's so hard to judge how good he is because he's mainly
Cody's a leader for sure, but not a great footballer. But yeah,
he's a leader, right? Yeah, I think the footballer you might be on point there. I haven't seen enough of him to genuinely judge him in a Leicester shirt yet, except for the cup performances, which hasn't been fantastic. But he's also been lacking sharpness, right? So I'll cut him some slack for then. But I do agree, right? Someone who will make sure our defense is tightened up and is on the same page during the game as well. Micromanaging these mistakes and helping the young guns like Victor Christiansen fit in and Caleb Okoli as well, right? Who's shown some glimmers of hope, but has also shown some embarrassing errors.
Yeah. So Locks, I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'm going to do a vlog, right? We're going to have a good result tomorrow. I'm saying a 2-2 draw because I'll take a draw away from home. I remember our last visit, at the stadium there, we drew 1-1. I think Harvey Barnes scored an equalizer. We were there. My son wants to do his prediction as well, so let me give it to him.
2-1 Leicester.
That'll be nice, wouldn't it, Imran? That'll be nice.
He's saying 2-1 Leicester because everyone else is saying it. So Locks, I'll post the video tomorrow for you.
Amazing, mate. Legend Imran, thank you so much. See you very soon, Imran.
All
Enjoy
right.
the game tomorrow, mate. Much appreciated. Right. I said there weren't going to be any callers. There is one more. There is one more, Doc. There is one last one.
All good, all good.
He mustn't have heard it when I said no more, but he's clicked it anyway. Right. Here he is. Jack, the final whistle, mate. How you doing?
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, buzzing, mate. Buzzing. We've known all week, but it's finally announced. What are your thoughts?
It's an exciting appointment. I think it's one the fans can really get behind. I mean, he spoke about Enzo's style of football and that, which he wants to take bits out of. And that's something the players got on board with when Enzo were here. You know, it's the players' strengths. And, you know, he wants to really produce what Enzo was doing at Leicester. Well, not exactly copy it, but, you know, bring his own style to the forum as well. And I think this is something where he's got a good squad to work with, and he's just got to get everything right, hasn't he? And I think he speaks very well, Ruud van Nistelrooy, for what he said in his interview and that. So, yeah, exciting times, I reckon, under Ruud.
Well, let me read this to both of you. I'll start with you, Doc, to react to it. Ben Jacobs, who I can't remember who he is, Talksport, there we go. He said, yeah, he's a Leicester fan. I couldn't remember which what part of the media he worked for, but it's Talksport. He said, this is what Ruud van Nistelrooy has said. The captain, Jamie Vardy, has the most experience and character. He's the face of the football club. As a former striker, I can't wait to work together with him as well. It could be a force to be reckoned with, Doc, eh? Van Nistelrooy and Vards.
Yeah, I mean, maybe chuck himself up top if you feel like we're not scoring enough goals, right? Playing manager. Go back to what Rooney did at Derby for a few years if we're struggling to put it in the net. But no, I think he's dead right on that statement. Obviously, you guys are in the UK, right? Everyone knows about every single team in the Premier League. But when I go around talking to my mates about supporting Leicester, the first player they always mention, it's Jamie Vardy, and then second up, Kasper Schmeichel. But he's been gone for a few years now, right? So they maybe ask if he's still playing there, but you know the answer is pretty clear by now. But Jamie Vardy, he is the face of the football club if you're not living in the UK, and yeah, I mean, long might he stay. Yeah, fantastic thing.
Jack, what do you make to it, mate? I mean, you told me the other day, you put it out that it's 9 years since Vardy broke the record. Vardy wears number 9, and it's Vardy's 9th permanent Leicester manager.
Yeah, it's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it, if you ask me? I mean, if someone would have said to me 9 years ago, Vardy would break the record, and 9 years on, Ruud van Nistelrooy would be Vardy's manager, you'd have thought to yourself, nah, surely not. We're living in a different world, but it's happened. Football's brought them together like it has fate, you know, and the man who held the record for so long, and then Jamie Vardy broke it. I mean, I'm sure that's the first chat they had together, that one. But, you know, two legends in the game. And, yeah, I think it's a force to be reckoned with, like Duck says, you know. And Vardy is a talisman goal scorer, and Ruud van Nistelrooy was once upon a time. I mean, if Ruud van Nistelrooy wants to bring his shooting boots back on, you know, and come out of retirement and play and, you know, get the goals for us, and feel free in it. Prime Vardy and prime Nistelrooy. You can't go wrong there with Strike Force, can you?
Jack, can you get Daka scoring, mate?
Has any manager ever got Daka to score?
I'll tell you I'll tell you the happiest person if Daka starts scoring. It won't be Daka, it'll be Reedy, won't it? He fucking loves Daka. He loves him,
You
doesn't he?
said it, I didn't.
There we go. Here's some fresh Ruud content for us all. Ruud content, that sounds a bit dodgy, but yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy content. So there we go. Jack, mate, thanks for clicking at late notice. I do appreciate it. Everybody go check out the final whistle, because I'm sure there'll be some reaction coming up soon. So cheers, Jack, mate. Finally, thank you. Bye-bye. Right, Doc, mate, final words on all of this. Actually, before you do so, let me just bring up the last few of the comments. Dawn says Cody. He's on Dawn was on about the experience and the leadership. Yeah. Maybe he can bring that. He also Dave said, think you have to play a Coley for his relative pace with either Vestergaard and or Fass. Dave also said need to get that band back in who recorded for Tawu to do Hey Ruud. Is Ruud going to manage us for Brentford? No, but he will for West Ham. Anyway, Doc, this is again the third time I've asked you this, but final thoughts on the appointment, mate.
My final thoughts I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think this is hope, right? Because I feel like we have hope now of staying up. This is no guarantee. There are no guarantees in football, but I felt like we were sinking ship before, and now I feel like if anything, we could be climbing. One other thing that I really want to add here as well, the fact that Enzo Maresca brought us back up to the Premier League playing good football. He then left us, which is, you know, it hurt, but it's fair. He beats Steve Cooper, gets him sacked, and then when gets called about the job from Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's certainly an upgrade, I'm sure of that, to Steve Cooper, he gives us a glaring review. I mean, nothing but respect for that man. I really do. That is genuinely huge. Imagine if he'd just been slandering us with all the issues that he, quite clearly there was some disconnect between him and the board, especially with John Rutkin, and for him to then properly still be giving some good advice on the squad. He's saying it's a squad that he could definitely keep in the Premier League. I think Ruud is excited. That's what it sounds like. He wants to prove himself as a manager who can do more, because I think I would expect him to be a bit disappointed with some of the disrespect he's getting for his time at PSV. Obviously, I didn't watch every single game when he was at PSV. I watched absolutely zero of that. But from what I've seen, watching and reading on the internet, while relative success, finishing second, winning both the Super Cup and the League Cup, he gets quite a lot of disrespect for his tactics not being good enough. And I think he wants to set that record straight and show that he's a manager who can certainly deliver, not just because of his squad being extremely talented. I think we have a squad that's capable of staying in the Premier League, and I think he believes so too, and he's going to do it.
Absolutely. There will be a watch along tomorrow. Absolutely. Match Day Live will be live tomorrow. Andreas, if you're free at full time, mate, for your full-time thoughts. Also, look at all these. Ooh. Whoa, hold on. Doesn't end there. Another one. Another one. Another one. We've got loads of blue tinted glasses.
Loads of blue tinted glasses. Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
People will find out the reason why very shortly. So there we go. But join us live tomorrow. Kickoff's at 3, isn't it? Kickoff's at 3.
Yeah,
so I always
3 p.m.
have to do my
kickoff.
math. 2:45, live from 2:45 on blue tinted glasses for the Brentford Leicester match day live. Andreas, mate, thank you so much for joining me once again.
No worries,
we will see you very soon. And as we all know, we're very happy. Ruud van Nistelrooy has finally been announced as the manager of Leicester City. See you next time.